Hello, everyone. Welcome. Let's take this off of you, Otis. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here today. Well, there's been a lot going on. There's so much going on. It's hard to keep up. But what I have found for you today, what I have looked at closely around Harry and Meghan and then William and Catherine, there is a big contrast. There's a big difference. And I think the insight into what I've always been saying has become a lot more clearer. And I'm just going to go through a couple of things that have happened in the past and just enlighten you to what I have discovered, what I continue to see, and how it is validating what we know is going to happen. Oh, yes. All right, so let's get into it. There's no denying that when you see William and Catherine, that their lives are harmonious. They've just got this brand new home they're going to be living in. William is going to be the future king. Catherine is still looking really good. I mean, considering a woman that has had some health issues, she's looking really good. And they're very liked. They're very popular. So we know that they had on this surprise trip to Northern Ireland on Tuesday, Prince William and Princess Catherine. They looked delighted to be out together, sporting similar footwear and being openly affectionate. They made this surprise trip to Northern Ireland on Tuesday, where the couple's chemistry was palpable. Yes, it's becoming stronger. It's more solidified. And we love it. We love seeing this beloved couple validate their love for each other, still openly in the public. Their excursions began with a visit to the newly opened Fire and Rescue Services Learning College in Cookstown, where the Prince and Princess of Wales met with staff and took part in training exercises, including a ride in a fire engine. And at one point, Catherine placed her hand on William's back as they arrived at the college. Their body chemistry, which according to one royal expert, signals a new level of openness from the couple. I doubt they plan the matching shoes, but it suggests a symmetry between them and a connection, and they seem stronger than ever, according to Ingrid Seward. She goes on to also say that you certainly notice that they are very tactile and happy to show it. And the complete opposite of this couple, which I find really revealing, from Harry and Meghan in the beginning being very lovey-dovey, touching all the time, to William and Catherine not really touching, very business-oriented. I see how it's flipped. We're now starting to see more of William and Catherine showing affection and less of Meghan and Harry showing affection. And that is to be expected. When your marriage gets stronger, you become more passionate, you start to change and loosen up a little bit when you're out in public and doing your official engagements. And that's why we're seeing this from William and Catherine. And as we suspected with Harry and Meghan, from the time of that engagement interview where Meghan had Harry's arm under hers and she just wouldn't let go from that engagement interview, to this couple showing so much overly affectionate behavior, to now loosening up in the affection of their relationship. It's becoming strained. It is no longer as strong as it was in the beginning, when everything was new and all googly and, oh, I feel so good, I just love you. And now it's like, can you just not breathe? You're getting on my nerves, okay? But Meghan, in her ever quest for creating beautiful stories of fiction, she tries to gaslight people to say that there's nothing there. I think that's one of the main reasons why she has her social media, to push back at the people who come out and say things on social media so that she can have a counter argument to what people are saying. Because we have to look at what has happened most recently. Because here's the story that has been contradicted. Not only that, but how Meghan has contradicted some things. I'm going to show you that in a second. But the story is this, and this is what you would have expected when you saw them come out for the Humanitarians of the Year award, where they got this award that was more than likely on their calendar for a long time. Harry had to show up. He had to show up to this, and this was right after Meghan did her Diana death drive. We remember what she did. Now, this is the report that I find is aligned with what I'm thinking is happening. Harry is reportedly unhappy after Meghan's recent mistake during her Paris trip. Harry is just not okay with his wife posting a video from the French capital, and sources told an outlet that Harry is finding it tough to process her simple mistake, which has caused an uproar even in the royal palace. Because we have to remember, there was a time when Harry and Meghan talked about that they would never go to Paris. It was off the table because of Harry's trauma, everything he's gone through. They would not go to Paris. So you have to ask yourself, why did Meghan go? If she once said she would never go, but then I'm sure Harry was not okay with it. I'm sure Harry was not okay with Meghan going to Paris, and more than likely warned her about going, considering what happened to his mother there, but also because he's warned her in the past about going to the Taj Mahal when she went to India. So there's no way that Harry approved of Meghan going to Paris. So the question then becomes, why did she go? I'm going to tell you in a second, folks. Harry is finding it tough to process Meghan's Paris trip was a mistake. Harry is working to mend things between him and his family. However, Meghan's social media clip showing the Pont de Alma Bridge after attending Balenciaga's show at Paris Fashion Week on October 4th has escalated the tension. Although the 44-year-old Duchess has been telling friends it was an innocent mistake, it has left the Duke unhappy. And we saw it. We saw him unhappy. It would make sense. But let me just tell you what Meghan's trying to do. But just hold on to that for a second, okay? Harry will be absolutely horrified. She thought she was capturing a nice skyline and didn't realize how close she was to the tunnel, says this source that has confided in Radar Online. More than likely, it is Meghan. Now, I'm sure you've watched my video where I showed you the relation to where Meghan was going for Balenciaga and to where the bridge is that she went by, the Pont de Alma. You'll see. It wasn't an innocent mistake. It was very intentional. She knew what she was doing. This is going to be related to what we saw with Meghan in this talk for the Women Empowerment series. Just hold on. Despite her claiming so, another insider has claimed that Harry will be absolutely horrified and deeply angry as it touches on one of the most traumatic times in his life, in which I just read. He is horrified. They're speculating that he would be horrified, and we have this source, this quote, saying that he is horrified. He is upset about it. And I'm sure that happened because that's what makes sense. However, after the clip received backlash, the actress was panicking. Her mistake has turned into something far bigger than she ever anticipated. Meghan is now left in a situation she has to desperately show that this PR that has happened was a simple mistake, but that it hasn't quelled fury from Harry and everyone else. Now, the insider further thinks that even if Markle's move wasn't deliberate, it was a serious lapse in judgment. As per the source, Meghan's alum really cannot afford these kinds of blunders, given her profile and the brand that she is trying to build around herself. Very key. Because Meghan is in the midst of building a brand single-handedly without Harry. We have to remember what Meghan is actually doing in this moment. Meghan is claiming that the Paris incident was a misunderstanding. An insider has revealed that Harry is worn out by all the drama. Now, let me ask you something. Does it make sense that Harry would be worn out by all the drama? Let's just take a quick look at what Harry looked like during his speech when he showed up for the Healthy Minds Project.
Jan is ulster-free. He's rarely arrived in isolation. War and displacement From Ukraine to Gaza, Sudan to the DRC, and many places in between, have created waves of trauma for those defending their countries and their way of life, for civilians, for families forced to flee. It stabilizes lives. It changed how we experience reality. Young people exposed to relentless comparison, harassment, misinformation, and an attention economy designed to keep us scrolling at the expense of sleep and real human contact.
So this man is not there and not even prepared to give any kind of a speech. Now let's just take a look to what he looked like giving a speech 8 years ago.
Thank you to Michael Burns and his team, to all the amazing volunteers, to our friends and families, and to the people of Toronto. Competitors from Ukraine, Denmark, Romania, and America.
Is that not a contrast? I think it is a very big contrast. Harry is worn down. He is done with the drama. He has had it. Do you hear me? The man has had it. The Duke of Sussex genuinely wants peace, but now it feels out of reach as Markle is caught up in controversies that touch on his mother's memory. Even Harry's brother, Prince William, was so livid he was beyond words about the incident. That is the story that came out. But then, what happens later when we see that Harry is not happy, when we see that Meghan made this mistake and Harry is showing himself not to be happy while with Meghan? We see these stories that come out that say, oh, Harry is upset by all the backlash that Meghan is getting over her Paris social media post. Really? That's a lie. Then we see Meghan making posts on her social media showing her and Harry very happy. You don't see them together happy. You see them really far apart. Harry is somewhat of a blur in the background being happy, which is a big contrast to how he appeared to be when they were together. So Meghan has made all these mistakes. She's gone to Paris without Harry's consent, I believe. She is doing things against the wishes of her husband. Harry is worn down, but he's going through the motions. And what Meghan is doing, she is trying to cover up all the negativity with these pretty pictures and posts so people can see that all is right. Why? Because Meghan is trying to build her brand independent of Harry, to be independently successful without Harry. But she can't do it with all this negativity. So her brand relies on her covering it up to confuse people, to make them believe that Harry's not unhappy. He's happy. So Meghan is doing everything she can to be the source for these contradictory stories that tell us one thing when there are other stories that come out and say something that is more believable. We can see that there is trouble. And Meghan is getting ready to live her very independent life. Harry is not going to be able to take much more of the drama, the mistakes, all of the negativity around him, because guess what? His mental health relies on separating himself from Meghan eventually. And it is going to happen. We see that William and Catherine are going strong, showing themselves to be there and prepared to take it on when William becomes king. And Harry is going in a decline. While Meghan tries to uplift herself to make it independent, it won't happen. But she is going to try with all the fury in her. Because I don't know anybody that would pay to go speak at a women's empowerment event and try to make everything that is said sound so positive and to not really be truthfully and honest about the things you're speaking about not even turning on her comments, about getting a season 3. I mean, the way she talked around everything, she couldn't even talk about things that she has learned as a CEO. She covers things up to try to make them sound like all is well and right in the world because she is so hyper focused on looking successful, being successful, and my golly, it's going to happen. I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to be successful. And here I am. Yes, 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 yes. And with all, everything, and we're going to scale up and we're going to make things great. And, we just things are a little bit different, and we have to do the things that we're doing because, I have to speak as if I am very successful and all is right with the world. Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, Harry's not happy. Well, let me just put out a social media post and make it look like he's happy. Harry, smile. She is doing any and everything she can to look successful. But what makes sense to our third eyeball is that they're not happy, and what we saw is not deceiving us. Harry is a miserable wreck. This woman has done a doozy on Harry. And change is coming. We see it. We see it happening. We see it by all the things that have transpired up to now. I'll do more on it, but the obvious is here. This is a couple in free fall. And Meghan's career is also in free fall. She just does not want to accept it yet. She's going to keep trying because her independence relies on that happening. Oh yeah, that's what I see. Yeah, so I will see you all in my next video, but that's what we have for now. And Otis says it's time to go. And I will see you all in my next video. Cheerio.